beady. I can still see the thin nose and iron wire eyebrows, the soiled skull cap and kurta, his white scraggly beard. Doer he was, but a good provider too. By the age of 23, he was delivering nearly 1,000 tiffin boxes a day. 14 runners worked for him, their pumping legs wrapped in lungi, the poor Indian man's skirt, trundling the carts through the congested streets of Bombay as they offloaded tinned lunches at the Scottish Amicable and Eagle Star buildings. It was 1938, I believe, when he finally summoned Ummi. The two had been married since they were 14, and she arrived with her chief bangles on the train from Gujarat, a tiny peasant with oiled black skin. The train station filled with steam, the urchins made toilet on the tracks, and the water boys cried out, a current of tired passengers and porters flowing down the platform. In the back, third class with her bundles, my Ummi. Grandfather barked something at her and they were off, the loyal village wife trailing several respectful steps behind her Bombay man. It was on the eve of the Second World War that my grandparents set up a clapboard house in the slums off the Nepean Sea Road. Bombay was the backroom of the Allies' Asian war effort, and soon 1 million soldiers from around the world were passing through its gates. For many soldiers, it was their last moments of peace before the torrid fighting of Burma and the Philippines, and the young men cavorted about Bombay's coastal roads, cigarettes hanging from their lips, ogling the prostitutes working Chowpatty Beach. It was my grandmother's idea to sell them snacks, and my grandfather eventually agreed, adding to the tiffin business a string of food stalls on bicycles, mobile snack bars that rushed from the bathing soldiers at Juhu Beach to the Friday evening rush-hour crush outside the Churchgate train station. They sold sweets made of nuts and honey, milky tea, but mostly they sold bel puri, a newspaper cone of puffed rice, chutney, potatoes, onions, tomatoes, mint, and coriander, all mixed together and slathered with spices. Delicious, I tell you, and not surprisingly, the snack bicycles became a commercial success. And so, encouraged by their good fortune, my grandparents cleared an abandoned lot on the far side of the Nepean Sea Road. It was there that they erected a primitive roadside restaurant. They built a kitchen of 3 tandoori ovens and a bank of charcoal fires on which rested iron kadais of mutton masala, all under a U.S. Army tent. In the shade of the banyan tree, they also set up some rough tables and slung hammocks. Grandmother employed Bapu, a cook from a village in Kerala, and to her northern repertoire she now added dishes like onion thil and spicy grilled prawns. Soldiers and sailors and airmen washed their hands with English soap in an oil drum, dried themselves on the proffered towel, and then clambered up on the hammock strung under the shady tree. By then some relatives from Gujarat had joined my grandparents, and these young men were our waiters. They slapped wooden boards, makeshift tables across the hammocks, and quickly covered them with bowls of skewered chicken and basmati and sweets made from butter and honey. During slow moments, grandmother wandered out in the long shirt and trousers we call a salwar kameez, threading her way between the sagging hammocks and chatting with the homesick soldiers missing the dishes of their own countries. "What do you like to eat?" she'd ask. "What do you eat at home?" And the British soldiers told her about steak and kidney pies, of the steam that arose when the knife first plunged into the crust and revealed the pie's lumpy viscera. Each soldier tried to outdo the other, and soon the tent filled with oohing and caws and excited palaver. And the Americans, not wishing to be outdone by the British, joined in, earnestly searching for the words that could describe a grilled steak coming from cattle fed on Florida swamp grass. And so, armed with this intelligence she picked up in her walkabouts, Ummi retreated to the kitchen, recreating in her tandoori oven interpretations of what she had heard.